What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So before I get into this video, I want to give a big shout out to one of my subscribers for the $30 donation via Cash App. He says, fire, great content from G24Ds. Much respect to G24Ds for the donation to the channel. I hope you love this content, man. I try to be honest with my assessments. I try to be as raw as I can on here. I'm basically a reasonable facsimile thereof of what I used to be on here. I can't talk the way I want to talk. For some reason, I can't express myself like most other people, and it pisses me off, but it is what it is. But that's why I always ask people to go over to the Patreon so I can really talk how I want to talk on here. But thank you for the donation. Thank you for the love. And thank you to everybody that shows love here on YouTube. But to anybody else that want to show love to this channel, you can do so at the links in the description box below or in the pinned comment in the comment section. Now let me say this, because I'm a man of my word. I said this on Too Raw for Sports. I was wrong. The Nets got the win without KD. James Harden dropped 36, 8, and 11, I think. So he showed up, and I was wrong. Told you, my man of my word. I was wrong. He balled out. So I got to give James Harden his due. You know, it is what it is. You know, you need free throws to score points. But anyway, let's talk about the stinkers. I mean, the fakers. The Lakers. Okay. I remember saying, look, we 10% of the season in, and this team stinks, right? And people are like, oh, man, you gotta give it time. You know, LeBron hurt, man. When he come back, we're gonna start rolling. Well, now LeBron's made his triumphant return. We're now 20% into the season. We still got a lot of basketball remaining, but at this point, the Lakers are showing you what they are. Okay, uh, they are not a good team. Okay, they are not a good team. They can put points on the board, but as I said before, they cannot stop the opposition. Um, their defense collectively is trash. And when I watch the Lakers, um, it's more like when I watch them play, it's like a bunch of guys just out there with individual agendas for the most part, you know. And shout out to LB because he's been saying this, he's been pretty much saying the same thing since this team was constructed. So I got to give him credit on that. And shout out to Ticket TV because a lot of the points that he was making, I swear I was communicating with my boy 70. He was watching them, and I was saying the same thing, man. Like, um, first of all, LeBron James has always been able to, no matter how much you don't like him, you know, a lot of people don't like him individually. And like, look, but at the very least, you had to admit that LeBron was able to control the pace, the controlled and dictate the pace of the game, and by that, he was always able, as far as making a decision when to score, when to go to other guys. He was always able to, on a great level, control the outcome of a game. You know, whether you thought he was being too passive, uh, you know, now a lot of that has to do with maybe he doesn't have the right personnel around him. But at the same time, even though LeBron James put up points last night, and Ticket made this same point, man, it's unreal. Because I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, he can score, but it's like with AD, it's not having a impact. It's not impacting the game. You see what I'm saying? Like Jason Tatum, his 37 points were impactful. They helped to dictate what the outcome of the game was. You remember those buckets. LeBron's, especially AD's, man, like, I'm hard on AD and Westbrook. Don't get me wrong, I like Russell Westbrook, but I'm gonna get on his ass too. Because it has to be done for the credibility of my channel. LeBron, though, was in year 19. And I'm going to keep trying to drill this to people and drill this to people and drill this to people, but they're not understanding what I'm saying. You cannot change biology, physiology, Father Time. You can delay it, but it is inevitable. Like Thanos, it is inevitable that he will fall off and decline. It's been a slow decline, but you can see he's not that same LeBron. He needs more help. Now, literally now, he's a guy that needs more help, and he's not getting it. AD scored 31 points when this nigga should have had 45 minimum. 31 points against this Boston Celtic team is not impressive, and there were 31 weakest fucking points I've ever seen. We've seen this motherfucker in a span of a week get outplayed by Cat and thoroughly, absolutely fucking, man, if I wish it was old YouTube, I really want to say some terms. We seen this motherfucker get absolutely just fucking scattered on. Fuck it. This nigga got scattered on by fucking Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, Giannis fucking just took a nasty fucking Thai food, proceeding to go to a late afternoon barbecue, followed by 4 or 5 tequila shots, and then fucking drinking some old ass fucking 3-day old expired banana milk shit on Anthony Davis. That's what he did. Okay? You know you was going to play the Bucks team. You know he's a measuring stick. You know the Bucks are struggling. You know people's perception of you. And what you do, you score 18 unimpactful fucking points and start grabbing your hip. You're a weak motherfucker, and they know when the goddamn well you supposed to be on this top 75 list. And I'm gonna do a video about that again. AD does not belong on a top 75 list. I don't even think the motherfucker at this point need to be on the top 100 list. That's questionable. Top 75, my ass. And Russell Westbrook, I can't save you no more, bro. I can't save you no more. I watched it last night. He's falling off a cliff. He's one of those players, I told you this, I've been saying this for a while. When his athleticism starts to fall, his impact as a player is going to precipitously decline. See, Russell used to be able to do something like this years ago. Russ could be going 0 for 6, right? And doing all that shit he's doing. But Russ could come down the middle and do a fire dunk that would ignite the crowd and discombobulate the opposition. Then he might be able to, on the next possession, hit a jumper. And he could alter the psyche of the opponent. He can't do that shit no more. He's not going to shoot his way into the hearts of the crowd. He can't fucking shoot. That's regressed. His shooting has regressed. Remember, Russ used to be an 80+% foul shooter. He was dependable at the line. Those days are over. Okay? Giannis is starting to become a more consistent free throw shooter than fucking Russell Westbrook. He can't shoot fucking threes. He's going to miss 5 or 6 of them before he makes one. His mid-range game has just deteriorated. He's missing layups. He's missing dunks. And, to some extent, I have to agree, he is at times stat padding. I can't deny the shit, man. I can't deny it. And what he's doing out there, it has no impact on the game. It has no impact on the game whatsoever. That's the common theme that I see, is that most of these guys have no impact on the game. Now with Carmelo Anthony, for the most part, he has been playing well. But I got to get on him too, and I'm gonna tell you why. Now I understood why when he was in Portland, look, you're getting your opportunity. You don't want to step on any toes. Okay, all right. You are a new arrivee with the Lakers, but you are respected enough as a player. Over 27,000 points, only a couple of hundred away from 28,000. That's something only a handful of players have done in the history of the game. Carmelo has to be more assertive about getting the goddamn rock. He got to get and he got. I don't know whether he got to go to Russell Westbrook face to face or LeBron, or they have to have a team meeting. Carmelo has to express, I need the fucking ball because he does impact the game with clutch shots and buckets. I see it. He does have an impact. The problem is you're only getting 7, 8 shots and you're only averaging 15 points when he should be averaging, honestly, I could see him averaging 20, 21 points a game. At this point, man, and I'm being honest, I'm telling you, man, I'm always honest on my channel. They might have to seriously consider bringing Westbrook off the bench. He might be better in that role. What they're doing is not working. It's not working. Then you got guys coming off the bench. Either they're trying to score, inconsistency. Frank Vogel don't know what the fuck he's doing. Um, they're losing the teams they should be beating. You know? Boston was a team tail spinning, and Boston easily beat the Lakers. The Lakers are 8-9. Not talking about 1-2. Not talking about 1-3. Look, I'm gonna tell you how Laker fans are. Remember, when was this? This might have been eight 8 years ago, maybe, when Mike Brown was the coach of the Lakers and they got off to that dreadful start. We weren't this deep into the season. I think they lost to Utah, a game they should have won. And first, Kobe was giving some lip service as to, okay, we're gonna be a little patient. We're gonna be a little patient about it. They lost that game. Kobe looked at Mike Brown. You knew he was gone. Within 24 hours, the Lakers announced Mike Brown had been terminated. We're almost 20 games to the season, y'all. This is what they are. This is what they are. Ain't no people people like to make comparisons to that Miami Heat team in 2010. The problem with that team was just chemistry issues. It was just chemistry. The defense was there. If anything, I thought offensively they had problems. The defense was there, and they didn't have a cupcake schedule. This team is not going to win a championship, man. They're just not. And the funny thing about it, last year before the injuries, the Lakers were the opposite. The Lakers were the number one defensive team in the league. Their pace was slower, which made sense. LeBron James is slower. But now, because Russell Westbrook is on this team, I believe it is still the fastest paced team in the league, right? Which is allowing the Lakers to score more points. But the problem is the league is full of young players, right? They may not be the most skilled or the most experienced. When I say most skilled, I mean as far as you know, all around play, you know. But one thing these guys can do in the NBA now, these young guys, they can run, they can jump, they got a lot of energy, they want to prove themselves, and these guys can pretty much all shoot that motherfucker from outside. right? Even centers. And when the Lakers keep playing up and down like that, we know how easy it is for teams to come back today with the three ball. All it takes is a couple of Russell Westbrook or LeBron turnovers. LeBron had some ugly turnovers last night, and a couple of three balls, and a 6 point Laker lead is erased just like that. And the Lakers don't fucking play defense. What I noticed is that a lot of the Lakers' leads are evaporated on runs. The other team go on a little run, hit a couple of threes. They motivated because everybody want to beat these motherfuckers. And it is what it is, man. But at the end of the day, I want to piggyback off of something that LB said in his video. Shout out to LB. Please subscribe to the sports and political channel of LB because he said this. And subscribe to Ticket TV too. Ticket TV, Pro Basketball Updates. Subscribe to those channels. The Lakers should have never tinkered with that 2020 team. They should have never did that. You add little pieces, but you don't tinker totally and restructure a championship team. That was just greedy on whoever part that was. Now, I have to think it was LeBron. That was just being fucking greedy. That's why, on a large scale, I don't feel sorry for the Lakers. Because you had a championship squad in 2020, and you fucked it up and you tinkered with it, and you wanted to be a Warriors fucking Thanos super team or some shit, and the shit didn't work. To be honest with you, you can make the argument that the media had a lot to do with this shit because when LeBron first got to the Lakers, the plan was for the first year to be a wash, and then the second year to start having championship expectations. But here comes Stephen A. Smith with his big ass head. Here come all these other motherfuckers. Well, I don't see what Lakers came with it right now. Well, you got LeBron James, one of the most phenomenal, one of the most mystifying players I've ever seen in the league. There's no reason why they can't win it right now. So they started having all this pressure to win, immediately. So they completely overhauled the roster, traded all these dudes to get Anthony Davis. And like it worked at first because they won the title. But now Lakers fans are having buyer's remorse. I mean, you got your championship. I told them, I said, after the Lakers overhauled their roster in 2020, I said, enjoy your championship because it's probably going to be the last one you're going to get for a while. Because you completely overhauled the team for the worse. Adding a slow-ass Marc Gasol at this point. All these other players who you knew weren't going to fucking work out. And then look at what they are today. So at the end of the day, man, the Lakers need to be fucking playing with the Ninja Turtles somewhere down the sewer, man. That's where they belong. They don't belong in Staples Center or Crypto.com, whatever the hell it's about to be. They need to be down there battling against roaches, flicking them off, and, you know, going against Leatherhead and, Casey Jones and them in court, on the court and shit, you know what I'm saying? Shredder going between the legs, Krang. Shredder, you have better handles than that. Bebop and Rocksteady. We need some alternate players. They suck.